Yeah, what the fuck? It just deleted everything. What up, what up? Alright. I'm just making sure it still works. I think it crashed the fuck out. Or maybe I thought it did. Hey, hey. How you doing? How you doing? How you living? How's the weather? Yeah. Not allowed to talk. Dude, I'm just saying. I was like, what the fuck? Still way too hot as I got to the cooler day. Oh man, yesterday was the cooler day, and oh my god, like it's crazy. It's crazy what the weather can do for you. You know, whenever you get like a nice, you know, like to go from 42 one day, which is like 107 for the non-euros or non-Celsius users, to go from 42 one day to 19 the next day, it is fucking. Oh man, it was, and 19 is like 67, I believe, or something like that, like 60, 70, somewhere in that range. Um, oh man, and today it was fucking nice and chill. Yo, what up, Echo Train? How you doing? Um, dude, yeah, it has been so fucking nice. Like, uh, it's crazy. Like, today especially, I noticed like yesterday it was just like a, oh, you know, like a thank God for the weather. Found a D&D game. Good shit, dude. Glad for you. And and today I realized like I just had the realization like, man, because I've been sleepy all day. And I was like, God, like why am I so tired? And I think it's because the weather's been so fucking nice that, like, you know, it makes you just wanna to nap through it. But I've been forcing myself to stay awake to fucking, you know, to really take it in, really enjoy the breeze and the open windows and shit. I think it's gonna get hotter. Obviously, like the temperature will kind of bounce back. It's still technically summer here, right? So I think, you know, we'll be back up. Yeah, yeah, heat is an energy. I'm telling you. And when it gets to like 42, like fuck, man, it feels like it just saps you. Like it just, ugh, dude. Like there's nothing you can do. Anytime you do something, like it just felt like my energy was like immediately drained. Before I had the chance, like, you know, I'd do like one thing and I'd be like, all right, that's it. I'm done for the day. So, you know, having those chances to just breathe, you know, fucking just let it roll off was fucking, man. These 2 days are very needed for the mental reset. Cause it's starting to get to me, man. Unironically, it's starting to fucking get to my head. But yeah, I've been loving it to answer you, Milk, in a succinct. Is it succinct? Succinct. Uh, yeah. How's it been your way? Has it been hot in old Pennsylvania? How's it doing? Great stuff for all the people now. Yeah, stream this. It's been going crazy. Yeah, yeah, hot everywhere, dude. I'm telling you, fucking. It's the goddamn. It's the. That's. I was gonna break into like an Alex Jones impersonation, but I don't think it's a good idea. But yeah, it's been for real. Yeah, most people who went to Rhodes have it really hot, for sure, for sure. Flowers are thirsty. End of the world, I'm telling you. It's a goddamn planet's growing. Planet's dying. We're on fire. Yeah, yeah. Literally on fire. Oh yeah, no shit. Yeah, yeah. The wildfires are rampaging across Greece, if I'm not mistaken. So it's fucking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same with like Canada. Canada had it really bad. Canada had it fucking crazy. Yo, what up, CJ? How you doing, dude? I was chilling in the stream before I jumped on mine and shit. What up, Nintardo? Nintardo. All right, cool. Yeah, man, I saw the shit we were working on. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Wasser 900, Volcanic 36, Blake Feedley. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Welcome in. We're just getting started, just hanging out and shit, you know, shooting the breeze, so to speak, kind of discussing like what's been going on, you know. The weather here has been fucking insane, and so like today and yesterday was like the first real fucking chance to really kind of settle it in, but fuck, man. Sin 07, how you doing? Kaihira, how you doing? How you guys doing? Now I'm just here to bullshit. I'm in Europe. I'm in Eastern Europe. Yeah. It was 42 here, or 107 on Wednesday, and I ran a game for a few of the people in the chat. And I was fucking toast. Like, somebody asked me, what does a character look like? And I was so hot because the room I'm in doesn't have AC. I gotta, you know, it's one of the one of the drawbacks of European living. God damn, dude, fucking, somebody asked me, one of the players asked me, like, how does they look? And I was like, they look like a man. I was like, it's like, I was fucking done, dude. I was sweating it out. My brain was, I was toast, you know? I was in the wind, for real. Yeah, for sure, yeah. Lack of AC. The room we have AC in is fucking, it's great, but, yeah. The manliest mally man. I didn't say that. I just said, like, just looks at man. I was trying to, like, in the moment, I think my mental state was like trying to explain it in like a nondescript. I think it's like, that's the term I should have used. Like, you know, looks like a man. But my head was just fucked, you know. I should have been like nondescript. Like, if you looked at them, nothing special about them, right? You know. And then I was like, well, did you want like a description, meta? You know. And I was like, okay. When I had that like realization, I was just like, I'm just done. Yeah, checking out the asses and shit. But how you guys doing? How you living? Up in Germany? Yeah. It's yeah. I'm in East Euro, so it was toasty. Past couple of southern East Euros, really, to be more specific. And yeah, man, it fucking lit us up, bro. If he just looks like a man. I'd be picturing Chuck Norris. No shit. Yeah, Wednesday was, yeah, that's why Wednesday was short. The room that I stream in is my office. It doesn't have AC, and the way it is I have large windows in this room, which is very nice because in the winter, because it absolutely like snows here, it gets really cold. In the winter, the windows will draw the heat from the sun, right? You know, like the sun will be on them for a good portion of the day, and it keeps the room nice and toasty. But whenever you get like a 42 day, bro, fucking kill me, man. Yeah, and the computer fans just pumping hot air. Yeah, exactly, like in the loft, dude. Exactly. Have you tried blackout curtains? They might help at least a little bit. I don't think they do, because I think the issue is that the actual glass of the window is just kind of holding all that heat. Like I was telling you, like I could go up and touch it at the end of the day, and like it would burn my hand legitimately. So, yeah, it just gets like, I think like 12 hours of sun direct, right? Like at a certain point, the sun is just hitting this side of the house all fucking day, which sucks. But it's nice 99% of the time. It just sucks on like days where it gets above 38, which is not that many, but you know, it happens. Yeah, I need to turn. Yeah, I need to turn the house. Yeah. It's I'm on the second story. We got 3 stories. So this is on the second. And in front of the house, I have 2 evergreens that are very tall. And it's funny enough, the one that you don't need to be huge is huge, because it doesn't do anything for this room. But the other one is fucking, yeah. Hang some bushes from the roof. Yeah. What's the sun? Yeah, where are you at where you don't get the sun? You looks like a UK. I don't think we have that here. yeah. UK. Ah, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, yeah. Have I tried rain dancing? That's what brought it down. We got some nice rain in, so it was real nice to kind of like, get the expressive, just relax. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of imperialists in the Discord. A lot of UK imperialists. So uh, all they talk about is how rainy it's been lately. Fucking bragging the fuck up when the rest of us is just fucking just you just need a pool in my streaming room. Yeah, dude, get myself like a little, you know what I'll do, I'll get myself like a little plastic pool, you know, just a little like baby pool, and I'll just go sit in it, for a moment. You'll hear me splashing, and then you know I'll be a pool streamer. It's this today we're doing world building and pool streaming, and I'll have my shirt off, and if I sacrifice my 50-liter bottle to the rain gods, it may work. Can't sacrifice that. Yeah, yeah. I gotta have the water. Yeah, it's an empty one. It's half full, exactly. All right. Nice to say what's up with everybody. How you all doing? How you living? Yeah, world building while I rub a dub. Exactly, bro. Yeah, my log. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, fucking, I'll lean back in it. My head will be out of one end. The legs will be out the other end. I'll just, it'll just be like from the waist up to my, up to my chest or some shit. But, shooting the shit and all that. So what we have on the works for today specifically, just to kind of give an idea for everybody who new to the channel and everything like that. In the Discord, we do a weekly world building stream. So essentially I post a new prompt every week, and it's typically decided on by the community. Every Friday I kind of discuss with everybody like, hey, what would we like to see next? And we don't really do like a poll or anything. It's just kind of like a feel it out. Whichever one has the most vocal supporters in chat, that tends to be the prompt for the week. And so this past week has been a free for all. Fuck off with that water sports shit. This week's world building idea is a free for all. So literally just suggest anything you want. It'll get tossed on in, and we will run it through and see what comes out. I haven't read any of these, and so this will be also brand new to me. I'll be able to check it out, give it a read, and I'll be it'll be new information for me, just like it is for everybody else here, except for the people who posted it. So, yeah, that is the idea for the week, and that's what we'll be doing. Just kind of like a free for all, just kind of bouncing around. Whatever idea comes to us, we'll be, working through. To set it up, we have another. Oh shit, Milk getting back into the world building streams. Rather, not world building streams. You're always here for the world building streams, but getting back into suggesting, as we have to start with Dr. Henrietta. I don't even know how to say this fucking last name. Ferrer? I cannot say that word. Unashamedly, I cannot say that word. So I'm gonna get this all. What? Why is this doing this? Let's go back. There we go. Let's go back. Okay. RL hobbies into Ekros lore. There it is. Yeah, in fantasy, nothing is spelt and said right. Anyways, thank you. Yeah, exactly. I don't fucking know. There's a whole meme in the community, specifically about the way shit is spelled. Yeah, for Riri. There we go. Henrietta for Riri. Yeah. Yeah, you want to talk about spelling, Damn, this is a long one. Jesus. Milk, you went hard. Okay, let's try to. Holy shit. Okay. There it is. Alright. I'm gonna have to come back. Dude, this is like a super long. Yeah, between us, for Ray Ray. Yeah, between us, nothing is ever spelled. I told you I worked hard. I'm telling you. Fucking sick. All right, so I'm gonna give this a quick read. And typically, what we do is, see if it fits the setting, and we kind of work through. If there are tough spots, we tend to try and do our best to kind of alleviate where some of the sharp points are to help fit the setting as best as possible. Typically, there have been some suggestions in the past that have been so, I'm not going to say bad, but they've been so something that we've not ultimately ended up not including them, unfortunately. but typically we include almost everything. Exactly. So starting off with Dr. Henrietta Ferreri. Though healing has been possible through magic for countless years, medical practices without the aid of magic has had a much more difficult time with its advancements. Dr. Henrietta Ferreri, though unable to heal through magical means, wanted to dip her hands into the medical field regardless. Over the years, she had become famous, or rather infamous, for her practices. Many modern medical practices can be attributed to Dr. Ferrier's, I'm going to say Ferrier's, experiments, but not many of them can be said to have been found without the loss for the greater good. Under the guise of a doctor specializing in herbology who believed in the healing powers of herbal baths, Dr. Ferrier's bathhouse was located near what is now known as the Neti Oasis. That's pretty cool. Though most would call Ferrier a very kind and understanding person, many unfortunate souls saw through her lies as they found themselves dragged to the back rooms of her bathhouse to become her test subjects. Ferrer. Okay, Ferrer. Prisoners were her main subjects, as police could be easily bribed, and sometimes it was just so much easier to have pesky inmates completely out of one's hair. And my, how far a charming smile and a little flirting could get you. But yeah. Probably city guard. Yeah, we'll probably touch up on that one. So here's the city guard. So beggars on the streets were not a rare prey for her either, as no one would investigate the missing homeless, right? Though it may not have been something she enjoyed, Ferrer gained her subjects through rather immoral means, and always got to her experimenting as soon as she was able to lock the door behind them. Though her cover as a compassionate doctor was wrong, evidence of her decades-long affairs had been found out due to some very nosy eyes, and due to public outrage, the city guard that once helped her had now turned against her. Barging into her bathhouse, a thorough search of the building produced a horrid sight. Operating tables, chains, and instruments stained with blood. Her captives were seemingly exposed to endless torture. Not many were left to save. Jesus. Though her experiments were unethical and positively horrid, many modern medical advancements can be credited to the abundance of notes she kept in her laboratory. And there is little question to whether her studies can be called terrible but necessary in modern standards. Jeez. I'm liking this a lot. So we'll go through with Dr. Ferrer's most notable medical experiments. Some of Dr. Ferrer's experiments include, but are not limited to, the Oath Creeper experiments. Jeez. Obtaining Oath Creepers was easy enough. They could be found lurking in the waters of the Neti Oasis. Under the cover of the setting sun, Dr. Ferrer braved the waters of the salty oasis in order to find the Oath Creepers. Seeing that the barnacles were strong and secure, her theories concluded that their tendrils may be helpful in fusing particularly offset broken bones. Under careful inspection and the monitoring of just how deep the tendrils spread into the victims, her efforts proved to be ineffective ultimately, and the experiment was concluded as being fruitless. The blood drop experiments. And just, I guess for a little bit of context for people who are new and everything, Oath Creeper, blood drops, and all of these other type of things. These are like the setting that we run games out of, items, right? So this is all like in-world stuff. Probably not stuff you'd find like generally speaking for Pathfinder or D&D and all that shit. So the blood drop experiments. Although incredibly difficult to obtain, Dr. Ferrer was able to eventually gain a hold of the famous blood drop flowers. Rumors had it that the stamen is it stem stamen of the flower were what produced the stamen. Okay, the stamen of the flowers were what produced the life-gaining effects of the plant. With what little samples she was able to obtain, Dr. Ferrer fed a tea brewed from the flowers to victims experiencing different life-threatening diseases. The stems in the diseases or injuries. From her findings, it was shown that the rumors were correct, though the rumors of the impending psychosis from injecting the tea multiple times was also correct, as was the lack of threats against their lives. Dr. Ferrer still experimenting with the flower when she was detained, so further research could not be commenced. All right. Let's delete some of these just to kind of get the formatting back. Okay, and perfect. Okay. Whoop. Do that. Okay. So we were at the unnamed ocean kelp. It appeared as though many of Ferrer's experiments stemmed from her interest in finding new sorts of medical equipment alongside her interest in the actual healing process. Wait, where the fuck am I at? Oh wait, whoops. There we go. So, seemingly much to her own delight, Dr. Ferrer's experimentation with the barbed kelp proved to be incredibly useful in terms of stitching open wounds closer in order to help them heal better and faster. It seemed as though she was ecstatic with the discovery, though the blood drops dotting her journals likely meant she'd pricked her fingers often while working with them. Perfect. The razor grass experiments. Like with the unnamed kelp, it appeared as though many of Ferrer's experiments stemmed from her interest in finding new sorts of medical equipment alongside her interest in the actual healing process. Though incredibly flexible, razor grass proved to be incredibly efficient at slicing and cutting. Easier to find, more abundant, and cheaper to use than a knife or a scalpel. The grass proved to be a wonderful addition to any operating table as it could quickly cut through flesh and muscle. Unfortunately, the grass was shown to be ineffective with most bone, such as in the thicker bones of the legs and arms, but can be used against finger bones as a rope saw if the need arose. Though it would take longer to slice than a bone saw would. One would have to use multiple blades of the grass, and slicing one's own skin in the process was common. This, she warned, should be used with extreme caution. Perfect. Dude, the idea of like some mad healing scientist going through all of these things just to like, further medical research is fucking crazy. Perfect. So up next we have the Chizard experiments. Chizard eggs, though rarely consumed back in her time, seemed to suit Dr. Ferrer's experiments nicely. After feeding them to her victims, it showed that the eggs were nutritious enough to sustain someone against hunger for excessive amounts of time. No further nutrients seemed to be necessary, especially if fed to her victims raw, as it filled the need for hydration as well. Crazy. Chizard eggs in the wild were in a much more abundance back in Ferrer's age, and were much easier to find and obtain through the early domesticated breeds, and her connections with local merchants showed that they could easily be brought back from expeditions along with herbs. When frequently ordered through them. Oh, with the herbs she frequently ordered through them, sorry. Expressing that the yolk did wonders for preserving the skin and repelling wrinkles, she was able to trick the merchant into thinking they were used for longevity for her customers. Feeding the raw eggs to her victims came with its own risks, however. Did something get missed here? Did I miss copy and pasting something? Let's see. Okay, perfect. I was just making sure. Yeah. Typical raw egg problems. I feel you. All right. Salmonella, yeah. The sandworm experiments. Sand were dangerous in her studies. With them, Dr. Ferrer expressed many times with how those who hunted the bees came home with harsh injuries, if they came home at all. Their blood, rarely able to be obtained, worked much like an acid and eroded the flesh of her experiments. This proved helpful in situations where one's rotting flesh needed to be taken care of and easily worked as well as any maggot would do. Though it needed to be observed carefully and just enough blood needed to be administered to the flesh so that it could work its magic, as washing away the blood with water only seemed to spread the acid across further flesh, perfect, doing more damage than good ultimately. In the end, the experiment was something she considered useless as the blood was too difficult to obtain and far too dangerous to be used in any setting above torture. The ghost spider experiments. Webs from the ghost spider were strong, incredibly strong. Though her experiments with the oath creepers may have been unsuccessful, it seemed as though the web of the ghost spider could be used in its place. Though not able to fuse bones, the web could be well used to wrap the area above the skin to hold it in place, as when dried enough, the web became very hard. The webs also proved to be useful as makeshift bandages if necessary. Unfortunately, due to the photosensitivity of the breed, one would have to remain in darkness while they healed their wounds. However, because of that, it made the removal of the web incredibly easy. Upon being exposed to sunlight, as torches seemed to not produce enough light, the webs completely melted away and disintegrated, making for a painless and effective cleanup method afterwards. Perfect. I think in a year and a half, I think this is the first mention of maggots in Ekros. No, the Wednesday campaign got the first mention of maggots in Ekros. Yeah. Don ate him. Okay. Perfect. Very good. Yeah, I love this. Having some almost like a folk villain or some shit, right? Like Henrietta Ferrer. Almost like a what's the question? Or what's the way I want to phrase this? But yeah, like almost like a folk legend of like, well, here's the good stuff we got, but holy fuck, there was a lot of bad. Yeah, anti-hero, do it in a smutty way. Jesus Christ. All right, good shit. All right. Please do a heading 3. Recent events surrounding Vrana. Perfect. All right, let's get this thrown in. Go there. Jeez, as always. Okay. Nice. Okay. And then, yeah, we just gotta do this. And then we gotta do this. Doosh. Not sure about this one now after the last session, but some elements can be salvaged. Perfect. All right, let me give this a read through. So, recent events surrounding Vrana. Vrana is a city-state in the setting, just as a heads up. So, the seeds of mistrust had taken root and grown into a tangled web of deception and treachery. The solemn, to his own eyes, quite benevolent in his rule, had become consumed with paranoia and insecurity, seeing traitors lurking behind every corner and even with his own loyal forces and close advisors, sentencing any who dared to defy him with treason and ruthless execution. This was at least to the case for the public at first. Early on, some candidates were already taken into special chambers beneath the city capital for the strange experiments that would later turn out to be much rooted in a much darker form of magic. The soldiers who once were the pride of the city now felt the full weight of these suspicions, no longer held back by those higher up in the ranks, instead being used as pawns for these machinations, tasked with hunting down supposed traitors for further questioning and elimination, then entirely, eliminating them entirely on the whims of those with their own agenda or the cruel who had risen up the chain. A few amongst these questioning the merciless methods. A few amongst them questioning the merciless methods as they saw close relatives being taken away, however, not daring to show any weakness to those above them for fear of themselves and their closest kin. Whispers in the shadows started speaking of sinister experiments conducted in the shadow depths of the stronghold within the city of Rana. Its influences slowly becoming slightly more tangible, souring the atmosphere surrounding it. The few who even dared to question or even voice their concerns about the events that started to unfold were faced with a choice: blind loyalty or slowly suffer the consequences. Promises of promotion and riches were dangled before those who chose to serve with unwavering loyalty to the Solemn, and for some this temptation was far too great, willingly accepting their new station as leaders to those who would hunt, spy, and inform, going even as far as feeding false information leading to the sacrifice of innocent lives. The small few who resisted this enticement were awaiting a different path, showing a strength of character that would not bend, but could possibly be put to use in different ways, captured by their former fellow soldiers, brought before the Solemn himself, who would reshape, twist, and make them forget who they were in the first place, with his newly found unfolding powers. Evermore delving further in his dark experiments, going further each time, and as far as unleashing these new creations upon their land, for their loyalty was beyond question to him. The new forms that had been molded by the Creator seemed monstrous in nature, and any hope of redemption or freedom far outside the realm of possibilities. Only some still held on to their former selves, not entirely letting into the madness, rumored to have only been able to make frantic bouts of laughter or haunted cries as they acted the will of their master. As Vrana descended only into further darkness and underground resistance began to take form, those who managed to resist the Solemn's grasp, and the very few who would still see through the lies found scattered company. Most had escaped the surrounding cities or the island entirely, whilst others who were unable to leave remained behind, having to come up with new creative ways of communication, as a risk of exposure would mean certain death or something far worse. What up, Obama OST? How you doing? Let's see. Something far worse. The Solemn, only seeming interested in maintaining power and conducting his experiments, has held a firm hold on the city and the control of the people, the foul aura only growing as time continued. Meanwhile, those who still lived in the smaller outskirts had to find a new delicate balance to continue living. Most unsure of who they can trust, all seem to keep up a front of unwavering dedication. An attempt as to not tip the balances with any of the guards or even their neighbors. Yeah, what up? Appreciate the follow, man. So what we're doing is a community lore contribution stream, essentially. Like in the Discord, we have a every week we do a weekly world building prompt, and people who want to get involved can go ahead and post their ideas, and we'll kind of work it over, add it to the setting potentially, or just kind of fix in place as best as possible. So yeah, that's what we're doing. But afterwards, after we go through the submissions, we'll just be doing like a free-for-all for world building stuff, just focusing on whatever, anything that comes to the attention. As an attempt as to not tip the balance, with any of the guards or even their neighbors for even being marked with suspicion could have grave consequences. Recent days have seen a number of small changes to the energy surrounding the land, and specifically the city of Vergon. Somehow, the small city-state had been able to hold its own power, likely due to its location at the sea, with stronger ties to outside trade and their previous movement to become more independent. As most who could have fled the country have done so, there have been few to also enter, bringing whispers of news and possibly a small speck of hope for the island that has been torn with treachery and dark forces. Good shit. I think this fits pretty well. There's probably some like specific phrases that could be changed up. The whole like new powers sort of thing. But other than that, I mean, everything seems perfectly fine. Yeah, speck of hope, and then you get fucking the twins, right? Jeez. All right. So, up next, we have. Okay. So this is a text-based RP adventure rule set. This is based on a game. I'll run a playtest on stream and see if there's a video example of how it is played. But the intention is that anyone wanting to play it can just pick up in voice chat or text RP channel. It does not require a DM separate from the group. Everyone is a player, although it is worth having someone who has played it before in the group to guide other players. Yeah, we want people to hate them. Exactly. Dice are needed to set some randomized events, but the outcomes of the interactions, fights, and actions are decided by the player. This is a storyteller, and failure is as valuable as success. If everyone always succeeds, it will be less interesting adventure. Players decide their player actions and success. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. So, text-based RP. So, common folk adventures. The basic parameters are that the only dice rolls are for situations set up, not to decide play outcomes. There is no magic in use from the player side. Okay, so everybody's like a genuine adventurer. The player characters are not adventurers. Actually, they're not adventurers. They are ordinary working folk. They are generally unremarkable people. They may be drawn from different stations in society and have been thrown together by events. Okay, the players collectively decide a narrative outcome for events they are involved in. They may be successful or failure. Failure can sometimes lead to a better story. Players should temper their level of success. The PVCs are unremarkable and this is a story unfolding. That's something to be won. Okay. So you essentially randomize your character with a random roll as well as character traits and then vocation. Okay. And then yeah, I think we'd have to check this out. We'd have to like do like a playthrough to get a feel for this. It's like it's like very freeform role playing, I think. Like very freeform role playing, and then you just roll random narrative events. And then you basically just kind of like play through them, right? Like each time a person has each time a person has, you know, the control of the scene. Yeah, you kind of run together, right? So yeah, I think this could be like very nice for like learning, I don't know, maybe learning how to, maybe not learning how to roleplay, but learning how to roleplay without the prompt of like a GM, right? Like without it being like what are you doing, right? Like, you know, it's like I think this could work really well. Definitely looks very cool. Maybe we should maybe I can send you a message and we can try to set up a game like one of these random days where we can all just kind of jump in and like maybe a couple of us and get a feel for the situation. Yeah, the narrative events seems to give you the prompt, but it's like, you know, like, oh, I do this, and then it's like, well, then the GM describes like, oh, you do this, and then this, and then that, and then that, right? And then it's like there's like the back and forth, whereas like this almost is more of like we set the scene and then everybody kind of plays into the scene itself, which is very good. It's actually something that I think most, to be honest, I mean, if I'm being honest, like most players don't know how to do, right? Most people tend to like only know how to play when it's like the back and forth with the GM, whereas like if you give people a moment to like speak to each other, oftentimes you'll find, like especially in groups, or if like, you know, you're all sitting around the fire, does anybody do something, right? Like what do you do? There's always like that hesitation, and then eventually you might get something, but it's always very quiet. People don't know how to feel like the the moments where you're actually kind of speaking to each other and learning things, right? It's always like people are just like waiting for the chance to express something rather than like just starting to just doing it, right? Like yeah. So I think this could be really nice for kind of showing the ropes on how you start to kind of do certain things. Yeah, you just have to be careful with people trying to take all of the spotlight and do everything while others don't get to. Yeah, actually, you know what? Based on like the previous text RP stuff that has happened in the chat or in the Discord, um, this seems like a way to do it over voice. I mean, I guess technically you can still do it over text, but um, yeah, I don't really I don't really know how to do text RP shit. I've never like I'm not from that world of role playing. I know some people are super big on text role playing, but it's never been something I've ever gotten into. So I know there's like a number of ways that people tend to moderate that kind of stuff, but I have no idea how to do that stuff. So it would be just like completely out of my wheelhouse. I just have no idea where you even begin with that kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah. Overshadowing people's stuff. So okay, perfect. This was a voice live game. I thought it would work in text, but I'd run it as first as a voice game session. Yeah, yeah. I think it. Yeah, I think like at least to show people like this is how it goes, and then yeah, yeah. Definitely have people that can be like, hey, so and so has been quiet. What are you doing? Exactly. Yeah. Uh, like a typical D&D session for sure. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. I'd like to give this a shot. I'm trying to think. Like, is there any days that I'm decently free to even involve myself to kind of try one out? Maybe we can like talk about it and see if we can run a practice game, right? To kind of give a few people the chance to experience it, see what it's like, and then go from there. All right. Yeah, it looks real interesting to me. I'd have to see how it plays out. It looks interesting. I think it could be very cool. Uh, Tuesday may be the best day. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe next Tuesday or something. We can try it out. All right. So up next is Taze Wells Mobile Marvels. Nice. So all right. Let's see. Need fluid and snacks. Might get a drink as well. Hey. Highly recommend. Fuck off. Not you. The thing. Fuck off. Alright. Guess as well. Alright, there's another solid okay. Dude, why is it doing that every time? I don't understand. Okay. Here we go. Gotta do some formatting changes real quick. And then and then let's see. Douche. Okay. All right. So we have Tazewell's mobile marvels. Yeah, it's specifically like the formatting stuff, like the yeah. I don't know. So Tazewell's mobile marvels. 6 years, 4 months, and 13 days ago, the first of Tazewell's shows was performed. At first, it was a small gathering of folk able to perform marvelous wonders of all sorts. The shows started small and were conducted atop small, unstable stages with curtains lined with patchwork and tiers. But over the years, the circus has expanded exponentially in size and quality. Seeking more than makeshift performances in the backstreets of Doldur, Terry Tazewell sought to expand his horizons, pack up his performers, and travel across Calor. First Calor, then the world. He could be heard shouting, and in recent times, the traveling circus has been advertised and spotted in cities lining the southern half of the Lock continent as well. Nice. So it's gone international, so to speak. All-inspiring acts are carried out by dozens of individuals, but the main acts and performers are the ones folks rush to buy tickets to witness. Now, the secure and portable stages are made with elegantly stained wood and shining metal, and the curtains are stitched with of heavy blue velvets. And incredibly enough, in recent times, Tazewell purchased an enormous yellow and white striped tent to cast their performers beneath. Okay. Of the main acts, there are 7, and they include, starting off, Ringmaster Tazewell. Of course, Tazewell would want to join the show himself. As a ringmaster, Tazewell is successful in showing off his charismatic nature, hyping up the audience and preparing them for the next act to come. A young and handsome man, his charm seemingly captivates all. Though he has little to show in terms of his own acts, Tazewell can do a bit of juggling, though most of his skill seems to reside in the occasional spell he can conjure up to keep his audience entertained. Nice. Jack and Ace. A pair of twins constantly sporting the tragedy and comedy masks. They wear the masks so often that their true identities are completely unknown. Jack and Ace are presumed to be nicknames of theirs. Jack wears the tragedy mask and Ace the comedy. The twins wear colorful clothes and bound around the tent throughout performances, working their ways to build up excitement and entertain the audience between acts. Their performances are always comedic in nature and often consist of creative acrobatics, juggling, and balancing acts. While there are other clowns that do similar work, the twins' skill far surpasses all of theirs combined, and their performance seem to draw in the most excitement. Okay. Up next, we got Griselda Brun. Known for being a rather fierce woman with a glare that could scare the largest of monsters, Griselda's role is that of the dire wolf tamer. She has 2 of the wolves, though their authenticity can be questionable, and their names are Francois and Lucille. The dire wolves seemingly adore Griselda, and though she treats them strictly during their performances, she can be considered quite kind to them at all other times. Perfect. Excuse me, music going real quick. The direwolf act consists of the creatures under Griselda's guidance jumping through hoops, both standard and aflame. Tricks to show off both of their ferocity and their devotion to Griselda, and to show just how under her control they become. They play, dance, and terrorize the clowns that taunt them. Philippa Ledoux. While waiting in lines or exploring the excitement-filled and decorated circus grounds, there are countless entertainers who find their acts better performed in keeping the crowds entertained before the show. Philippa Ledoux is one such performer, entertaining guests with predictions of their future. Philippa is a fortune teller, and she uses tarot cards to look into the future of those who seek premonitions or guidance. Though her stories can seem rather vague at times, she seems to give comfort, entertainment, or caution to those she reads for. Her booth can be found by the line that forms outside of the tent on the way to purchase tickets, though she can be spotted walking up to the line to give very quick one-card readings to the guests as well. Nice. Otto and Lily Caspati. An act that has become infinitely safer since the addition of a proper tent was introduced to the circus. Otto and Lily's act is the most recent to have become one of the main performances of the show. Whether it's walking the tightrope or jumping from swings, Otto and Lily are a married couple, performing their most exciting stunts on the trapeze. Safety seems of no concern to them as they fly through the air without a net. Flips and spins are performed seemingly with ease by the duo, and their balancing act is virtually unmatched. Herman Furst. From bending iron rods, oh nice, to lifting boulders, Herman Furst's skill with strength is that like no other. With ease, Herman seems to be able to perform any feat of strength that's thrown at him, sometimes literally. He challenges the audience members and those who gather in the crowds to try to find something too heavy or strong to outmatch him. But as of yet, nothing has surpassed his test. It is rumored that the giant mast that holds up the center of the tent is carried by Herman alone during their travels, as claims hold that it would take a carriage drawn by 5 horses just to move the massive wooden pieces to their different destinations. Make him fight Virgil. Yeah. Nice. Julio Silveira. What better method of exciting the crowd can there be than involving them in your acts? Armed with countless daggers, axes, and the occasional spear, Julio throws pointed weapons with ease. He may be hitting a target, but one of his favorite activities is letting the crowd join in on the fun. After showing just how accurate his throws are when confronted with targets or in an attempt to miss his lovely assistant, Vanna White. Yeah, perfect. Julio often decides to play a little game with an audience member, inviting them out to join him on stage, while they become part of the show as well. Aside from the main acts, other performances come in abundance, from performing between sets, exciting the crowds before show. Fire breathers, sword swallowers, and more gather around to put a smile on each and every guest's face. Come and enjoy the show. Nice. Good shit. Yeah, I don't think we had any type of like circus act before. So nice. I appreciate that. Let's do heading 3. Trouble for Tazewell. What's that? Alright. So I was thinking it's a little nice on the upper end, but what kind of trouble is going on with Tazewell? Alright. For a little while now, trouble has been following after Terry Tazewell's circus. Rumors circulating that the circus brings bad luck to the towns it passes through run rampant, and in recent times there are folks that refuse to visit the circus when it comes around, just in case those rumors turn out to be true. Following along with the circus seems to be a string of break-ins and robberies, and the places affected appear to be those who venture to the fairgrounds to enjoy the show. Due to meta-knowledge, the crimes can be traced back to 3 individuals: Valentino Cesaresco, Robert Moody, and Ambrose Pavlo. Under the guise of performers of the circus, the 3 questionable villagers about where the circus whereabouts currently are, and explain that they fell behind the group after splitting off the last town with the promises of catching up as soon as they could. From there, they ask others if they plan to see the show and invite them to come and join if they mention not being interested. Oh, okay, I get it. From there, they can gather information about which places might be uninhabited, and they can plan around how long the homes or businesses might be unoccupied. It seems as though they really enjoy the organization. It is possible that one of the thieves, Ambrose, is rumored to perhaps be a changeling who sometimes shifts into Terry Tazewell himself in order to trick others. Whether the group of bandits is working with Tazewell is currently unknown. Nice. Okay, perfect. Love it. Good shit. Alright, up next we have Daddy Moir. Okay, let's drop that in. Let's do that. Let us do this. There we go. All right. Yeah, I like it. We needed like a circus especially one with some potential fucked up stuff going on. So, loving it. All right. Dadimoir. The dwarven settlement of Dadimoir, that once held superior reign over the First Mountains, were nearly wiped out when a branch of the original elven explorers landed on Kalor. In a time after arriving at Lena, a group still craved to explore the world and for reasons unknown to this day, nearly caused the extinction of the once mighty foothold. In an effort to survive and scurrying back to the mountains, nearly collapsing all of the established tunnels behind them, they found themselves cut off from the rest of the world. For decades, perhaps even centuries, the dwarves learned to endure and even embrace the darkness beneath the hills of the First Mountain. Sloughing off any ties to the outside world, and embracing their solidarity, adapting to become even more hardy and stalwart race than their other kin were already known for. Most of their culture consisting of remembered tales and myths were forgotten over time, solely focusing on the treasures that might lay below and using any unique materials in their already quality smithing. Considering it part of their daily practices, with the truly talented being revered and moving to become powerful personalities within their own community. As time continued and new generations of eager younglings were born, a new era erupted. Having convinced the wary elders that there was more to the world than the single mountains, the first of their generations built an escape to the lands above. Unused to the sun, they struggled at first, with a renewed vigor at reaching outside of the only domain they had known in their life. They sought out south along the river, looking for any that had made their home on this somewhat alien landscape, entirely different from the earth they were used to, in an effort to discover their place in the world. Surprised at first by finding different races, still wary of the ancient tale of the Welves. However, establishing new connections, deciding it best not to continue their isolation and perhaps even find new allies in the denizens that had now populated the continent of Kalor. Nice. So, snuff out the lights and perform at night. Yeah. Dark vision only. It's good stuff. Oh shit. Had to get a big stretch in. Yeah, it's like an unknown community kind of revealing itself to the setting. Yeah, a lot of dark practices you can work into it. Kind of culty. Oh yeah, you mean for the circus? Yeah, 100%, right? Maybe they have two shows, right? They have the daylight show and then they have the evening show, and the evening show is when it gets fucking wacky. Oh, this one too. Okay, perfect. I'm just making sure. Yeah, Darimar. So the First Mountains. I do think there'll be some conflict because Doldur is established as the original settlement of the dwarves in the First Mountains. But I think like Darimar could be like a branch that got cut off, maybe. You need a fish man and a guy that likes swinging off embedded fish hooks. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah. You hang him on a wall and he turns and he tells you about Budweiser, you know? That's just too young for X-Files. No, I've seen X-Files. I've seen all of X-Files. I've seen it like multiple times. Love the show. Actually, I think I didn't watch like I think they brought it back. I watched the original series. I never watched the revival. So like I think they brought it back for a couple of seasons, but I never checked that out. I only watched the original but admittedly it's been a while, yeah. So Toombs is an excellent Ekros villain. Oh yeah, man. Tombs. Yeah, Victor Tombs. The squeeze one, right? Yeah, Tombs is, yeah, 100%. Tombs is the guy who can like yeah. Yeah, stretch guys. Dude, yeah. Maybe one of the prompts should be like serial killers of Ekros, you know? Yeah, hibernites for 70 years. Yeah. Yeah, Tombs would be good. Tombs would be a real good addition. Yeah, Henrietta Ferrer. Yeah, we already got one there. To the serial killers. 100%. Damn. Maybe I should rewatch X-Files and get some inspiration going, dude. A good prompt. Yeah. Serial killers of Ekros. How they do it, right? We'll see. Nice. So I think with Darimar, I think that is the end of the free-for-all prompts. Yep. Or rather the suggestions in this week's prompt. So there's been a few. Notice that the admin deleted the smut, guys. What do you mean? What smut? What smut are you talking about? Yeah, someone making an Elizabeth Bathory inspired character. Yeah. So, reaching the end of this week's thread, because of the weather, I genuinely didn't have much time to work on anything that would be specific for the free-for-all thread. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get into that stuff. But I've been thinking for a while now. There's a few things I want to do. One big thing I'd like to do is get the map of the setting professionally made, because I am no, cartographer by any means. So I think with doing that though, a few things need to happen on my end at the very least. A few things need to reveal, I guess need to be finalized as more of a way to look about it on my end, as far as the setting goes, because I don't want to pay to get a map done and then have it be like can you keep the random to the west of it? Yeah. Yeah, okay, don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah. The sea grave can be professionally and officially marked. Yeah. Yeah, so it's something I've been thinking about. Or maybe better would be to like finish off an area, right? So that yeah, like we can, some things can kind of get finalized, and let's see. Sorry, checking some stuff up real quick. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. That suggests the area is close. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Sorry, I was looking into something. But yeah, essentially I'm wanting to finish up, or at least finalize certain things within the setting, which can be kind of a big deal. But I think would also be nice to kind of just have done. So be like big setting stuff, like at least world map details taken care of. But I don't know if that's a bit too, what would the term be? I don't know if that's a bit too let's see. You can hire me as a whale biologist. I'm exquisitely qualified. You don't need the name spelled correctly, do you? Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, so there are certain things I'd like to and I guess with that I'm going to be looking for cartographers that could be, you know, that have like some good work. But I don't know if that's a bit too quick. I mean, are some places I guess it depends on the type of world map I'd like to get, right? Because if I want it detailed with like the little maps, like the little towns and all that stuff, we're nowhere near close to like that type of, you know, really detailed sort of map, right? If I want it to be just like an overarching kind of like, here's a view of the world, I think that works okay. But at the same time, like I really like the idea of having all the little details on it rather than getting like this, getting like this big kind of plain looking map done. Yeah, if you make that commission, you need to secure the files for future updates, for sure. Yeah, it would have to be like, you know, and I guess that's the thought, like we know a lot about the cities, but we don't know a lot about like the stuff around cities in most of the world, right? Like even like the big regional stuff that has had like a lot of focus, like Vogmoldir, right? That whole region has had like a lot of details. The city has had a lot of stuff, but small little places around Vogmoldir are like nothing, right? We've got like one. We've got like, you know, Turakarn. And so I guess, I mean, the reason I haven't done that stuff myself, even though I do have the I have the inclination to do it that way, is mostly because I want to leave a lot of space for people to like have their, you know, to put their touch on the world, right? And they're, in a sense. But I feel like we've been doing this for like a year and almost 2 years now, and I don't it seems like there's not, you know, it seems like at the pace we're going, like maybe I just need to Maybe I just need to knock it out. And then, you know, the stuff that people can add will just be like whatever they can add. Yeah, like a year and a half, almost 2 years. So it seems like a lot of people have added interesting things, you know, but I think maybe doing like super deep dive regional stuff needs to be done, with like, you know, names of the road, like all these little details, because I would like to get at least a collection of maps going, like start with, you know, each region. Like imagine like a Vogmeldir regional map, right? You know, like the Dudas Marches, Torakarn, the Dismal Mire, right? Linmoldir, the lake, all these little locations, and like having more Linrid, right? And like having all of this stuff better than I can do, because I'm not a cartographer. Like I've tried really hard. I think the map that I've made is well enough, but I don't think it's great. I think it misses, like it looks like somebody who doesn't make maps trying to make their own map. I think that's what it feels like. At least that's how I feel about it, which may be, you know, not the case for most people. Yeah, I think it hits some marks. Like, you know, I think there's certain things I've done really well. I think the mountains I've worked, you know, pretty well. Certain details have looked okay, but then there's a lot that kind of leaves a lot to be desired too. Yeah, load of notes to pass to the contractor for sure. Yeah. So I've been thinking about that. And then I've been thinking about this upcoming this next week's upcoming prompt, because like I'm thinking like, if we get the Senpai tier of Patreon, can our 1 hour talk be how the Mac can be improved? For sure, dude. You hit the Senpai tier of Patreon, feel free. We'll talk about whatever you want for an hour. I gotcha. And you can also get a couple of the monsters that I've already made and put on Patreon. There'll be a lot more stuff coming soon, I promise. So, yeah, I guess not water sports. No. Yeah. With sumptuous dripping praise. Yeah. Actually, Senpai tier, you know, actually, there's some limitations behind that 1 hour talk. Yeah, you have to jump on, we talk, you know, we gotta get real. Get it real. I don't know. I just need. Yeah, give me ideas so I can steal them and claim them as my own. Exactly. That's exactly it. Have you ever seen that riffraff? My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody. You know, that's what it is. I'm just trying to blow up. Yeah, terms and conditions apply. That's what these streams are. Dude, these streams are, you know, all your suggestions are now mine. Jesus Christ. Nah. Yeah, Senpai is like a private VIP world building stream just for you. Or it could be anything you want, right? You know, help you out with some content. I can do some stuff with you. I can, you know, help you design some stuff. You're like, hey, I want to build a stress mechanic for my setting. You know, let's do it. We'll go through the whole design process. I think I've have a really good focus on D&D designs, whether it be 5e as well as others. Commercial theft reasons. Yeah, it's recorded for training and commercial theft. That's why we need to know all about the booty and the feet. Yeah. If you want to make a presentation and, you know, give it to me for the entire hour, feel free. You know, put on your best, like, you know, put on your best. What the fuck are they called? Suit jacket. You know. Load it up, you know, get it projecting, you know, to today we're going to discuss, you know, all this shit. So, yeah, that could be that. Okay, the reason I kind of bring this stuff up is because I guess, yeah, I mean, I think as nice as it's been to have a lot of open space for people to kind of put their touch on the world, I think maybe maybe at this point it might just be better if I start to like really fill in a lot of this stuff, because I guess it depends on the game plan, right? If it's a long game, if it's the long game, fuck, now I'm thinking about it. Shit. If it's the long game, maybe it's better that I don't, right? The long game would be that it's, you know, eventually it will be filled, right? Whether it takes, you know, that's more thinking like the 1 hour would be amazing for the long game. Yeah, to really flesh out in the setting and all that shit. Yeah. Yeah. If that's what you want to spend your hour on, you know, feel free. And it's 1 hour a month, you know. It's not just one time. It's a monthly thing. So every month you're a patron, you got an hour with me directly. Set up a chat, we'll discuss things, Alright. So fuck, man. I guess I'm really torn on this. I guess like how important do you all feel it has been to be able to make your mark in the setting, right? I know for some people it's certainly been like extremely important. Like I think for people like for certain members it's certainly been a big part of the, I guess, the initial draw of the setting is being able to make your mark on it, being able to you know, create some unique stuff for the setting that actually gets used and you see it in games and etc, etc. But I think for a lot of other people, I think the majority is people just kind of brush over it, right? I don't, you know, maybe they have the intent, maybe they think it's like, oh, well, this guy's just looking to steal my ideas, right? I guess like that's a genuine concern. I can appreciate it. But like like if we're being real, right, like I spend like a fuck ton of time doing shit for these games. Yeah, and yeah, only the rejected ones have robbed me of the satisfaction and left me bitter. Yeah. Dude, there's only been like one. I've rejected like 2 ideas in the history of doing this shit. I've rejected like 2. One of them I should have, but I was like, okay, let's rework it into something that actually, you know, makes some sense. Yeah, it makes your character feel more important when there's stuff to work. Yeah, I guess where I'm kind of like 50-50 on it is I would like the setting to be a lot more I would like there to be a lot more stuff in the setting than there is, and I've had a ton of ideas for them, but I've always kind of held myself back from adding in things because I've always wanted to keep this keep this whole like we can do anything, we can add anything to the setting without it feeling like, you know, yeah, maybe the more invested people could still do a lot on the micro scale and I could flesh out the macro. Yeah, that's yeah, maybe can't hurt when your players are creative enough to work around stuff too. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I get. Well, I mean, it's more so just like I've had this idea that like maybe it goes against, because like if I have like a ton of ideas, especially for like the Dukan region, especially now that like Dukan is gone. Um, I could like fill in that whole region super fast with like multiple towns with multiple things happening. Like, and I've had these ideas for a while, but I haven't added them because I haven't been the. I would want to be the one closing the door, so to speak, right? Like, that's been the ideas mostly. Because I think a lot of the draw. I don't know. I mean, why do you people hang out? Is the draw of the Discord and the community that you can add stuff anyways, or is it more like everything else and just being able to add stuff is kind of like a nice cherry on top on occasion whenever you're interested in it? I guess that's the bigger question. Let me change this music. It's getting a little fucking repetitive. Yeah, because you don't want to restrict people too much, but you should be able to add in the stuff you want to as well. Teamwork, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. If it's going to end up with multiple GMs, it could also function as a different universe for those who wanted to see an alternative to history. The thing that's holding me back at this point is I don't have a good overview on Ekros anymore. The wiki not having all the... Yeah. I'm in it for the whole package. but besides me, what else are you in it for? No, I'm just kidding. When I start adding some ideas, but limit myself a bit. Yeah, maybe don't take over something. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. I guess I will then. Yeah, because I do want the setting to kind of start. I do want the setting to get to a point where it's starting to feel complete enough that we can actually get like professionally made maps done. We can get like some really cool, you know, resource stuff taken care of, rather than just, you know, yeah, for sure though. Chris, not having a good overview, the wiki not having all the info for sure. Like, yeah, I think, fuck, man. I've been so lazy on it. But I think I genuinely think I can't anymore, and I think we do need to, or at least maybe not we, but definitely I need to go in and like really start. You know, certain things on the wiki are already out of date because we've done like huge revamps, right? We've still got like the locks phage shit going on. I think the page for Visgrad is like fucking, it doesn't even exist, right? Like we've got all kinds of fucking, there's a lot of shit that needs to be taken care of, I guess, right? So for sure. Yeah, I think, right, the Valdir's page especially is like fucking completely out of sorts. Oh, that too, but I don't agree with the input into that, and we don't have your stream doc. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I just got to put it into like a Word doc, because a Notion doc, I can't add too many people. Unfortunately, Notion has like a limit unless you're paying like an organization, and then people can have like a lot. Okay. Yeah, then I wonder, like, what if we did a damn, what if we did a stream, like what if next Friday's stream was like updating the wiki stream? Would that even be interesting? Like hanging out and just copy pasting and updating the wiki completely, or does that just be something I should just do? The problem is I don't know how much, like, the free time that I do have tends to go towards either prepping for the games, which is, we're over halfway through, so it's gonna start to look a bit lighter on that end. But yeah, typically like all my free time now goes towards prepping or towards writing like stuff that nobody gets to see, right? Because I'm wanting to have a lot of stuff kind of chambered in, and then being able to introduce it. So I don't know if updating the wiki would be an interesting stream, but if we're just hanging out, kind of chatting, and then like, oh yeah, we're getting this added, right? Oh shit, you know, we forgot all about this. Like maybe it could be the case that we come across a lot of stuff that we, you know, like the first page of this, right? Like, you know, we were just talking about it the other day, or like last week, I think, like the Mortain readout, like just kind of, you know, completely kind of forgetting it was there. The Black Iron Halls that I created, right? Madness and Ruin. Teeth of the Bear, right? So I think the Barrow Mounds, right? Shit, yeah. I think a lot of stuff, the Naeus updates are fucking crazy, you know? So, oh yeah, maybe Tuesday. Yeah, maybe Tuesday is like we'll do a little few thing. We'll do a few things, and then we'll, um, yeah, because if we look at, if you look at lock, right? We don't even have like, yeah, we don't have shit on there, dude. The Thanaeus is totally out of sorts, right? So okay, yeah, then I guess next Tuesday we'll do a update stream, or a wiki update stream. It'll just be like we'll have that going on in the background while hanging out and kind of just chatting and doing our normal thing, because the wiki definitely needs to get updated, right? Like it for sure, like you said, like there's just no, right, we, the scope has gotten so large that it really feels like, where the fuck do I start, right? Like that's been a big problem. So yeah, I think that'll be a good idea. Okay, so that's okay. Yeah, if I can make some stuff accessible, yeah, what I'll do is we have a world builders channel. But yeah, but this coming Tuesday, maybe the RP game. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, then I think, yeah, we need to update it. Maybe updating will be like a big thing in the in between, because I'm still on the so and so with yeah. It's just that free weeks. Oh, free evenings all this week for a change. What if we did a Thursday one? Do you think Thursday would work out? I know it's typically my day off, so to speak, but I can probably make something happen. Yeah, okay. Yeah, then I think maybe we'll shoot for Thursday to try out the RP game, to just see how, like, the flow of it. It also give me a chance to be a player, you know. Hey, it's been a long time. So yeah, I think we're taking a world streaming break. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I don't know if we need a prompt for this week, right? Maybe it could just be that, like, anything new that gets added, because it always notifies me, at least. If anybody adds to any of the recent prompts or anything like that, like we'll jump into it and we'll discuss some shit. Yeah, maybe let free for all run for 2 weeks. Yeah, that could be it. Explore the older prompts week. Yeah, explore the older prompts, and also free for all, right? Like keep it up with free for all, and then explore the older prompts. Whatever you'd like to suggest, because I think every time something new has happened, I've always gone in and updated, right? But yeah, masturbation jokes week. Yeah. All right. I think that'll be decided then. Okay. So then if I start putting in a lot more putting a lot more details into the setting and everything, then it won't feel limiting. It'll feel the opposite. Okay. All right. Yeah, I just didn't want people to feel like I'm going back on something that has been a big part of, the community in general from the start, right? Like it'd be like really fucked up to be like, oh yeah, the only way you can do world building is if you're a fucking Patreon or like, you know, shit like that. I don't really like stuff like that. I like everything that has been a part of the community to always be like a part of the community rather than starting to kind of limit the scope of things. So I mean, eventually, right there, yeah, yeah, losing it would probably be like fucked up. Yeah. So yeah, so it's always like keeping the scope of thing or keeping everything that's always been available, you know, more available, right? Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Especially like when we get like people who rarely suggest or like Ice used to do a lot. Every time he posts now, it's like, you know, it's like a banger. Or like Milk you Ram is big on it. Um but yeah, we got like a good mix. So he's agreed to my suggestions, I suppose so. All right. Well then I think we're chilling here, man. I I think I'm gonna call it, have it be a short one. I actually have some food waiting for me I want to get to. It's 10:30 my time, and trying to, you know, relax a bit, enjoy the weather. Right, that's been a big thing. But yeah, seeing people try to work in weird stuff. Yeah, like you're trying to work in obvious innuendos and stuff. I think that's always been like really funny stuff, and it kind of like uh it's kind of been like the fun stuff. But yeah, appreciate you all for hanging out. It's definitely been enjoyable. For any new people, if you'd like to get involved, the best place to do is jump on into the Discord as linked. That is the best place to be. We hang out there. We, you know, we fuck around. We do a lot of fun stuff. Yeah, so best place to be. And we're over halfway through this cycle of campaigns, which means we'll be starting to recruit and get things ready for the next set of campaigns at the you know, here shortly. So the best place to be if you want first dibs on the opportunity is in the Discord itself. So anyway, thank you all for hanging out. It's definitely been fun. Been enjoyable. A lot of great ideas, a lot of stuff passed on over. So appreciate all that as always. And yeah, so we're gonna let the world building prompt ride, and then yeah, there'll be some stuff going on next week. So appreciate you all. Hope you have a good day or a good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I appreciate you all coming around, hanging out, and wish you all the best. And we'll see. Next stream will be tomorrow as we continue our Saturday campaign, Dead Waters. If not, we'll be back around on Monday. So hope you all have a good one. See ya when we see ya later.